Happy Monday, everyone, and it's a psychic medium, Josh Simons, coming to everyone with a Tarot Snapshot for Monday, November 6th. This is the first full week of November, and we're diving into the last 2 months of the year, the holiday season for those of us in the United States. American Thanksgiving's coming up in a couple weeks, and I want to talk to you about something that I'm feeling. I am really feeling some apprehension about next year. Not worry and not anxiety, but I want to talk to you about what's coming up next year. So we're walking into an election year, a presidential election year. So November of 2024, we're going to have the next presidential election. And if you have followed the past few elections through Obama, through the first term of Trump, you'll notice something, especially on social media, where people are wound up tight. They're certainly wound up tight. And red, blue, right, left, center, doesn't matter. There's a lot of feelings out there. Where those feelings come from is a discussion for another day. But I do want to talk about the roller coaster that we're all going to collectively ride in the United States in the next upcoming year. Boy, oh boy, are there going to be upset people. There's going to be really wound tight people. And let me talk to you about the law of practicality. So in the world of spirit, law of practicality is numero uno, because our dead, our ancestors, well, they lived lives where they weren't practical, and they looked back on their lives and they wish they had done things in a simpler way, in a more basic or a different way. Now, the law of practicality states, if something is bothering you, can you do anything about it? Yes or no? If you can do something about it, well, what would you tell somebody that you loved to do about it? That's where we gain clarity. If you can't do anything about it, you got to learn to live with it, or you got to remove yourself from it. That's vital. So, presidential election, when it comes to that, you know what Spirit has to say? Go vote and shut up. Truly, go vote and shut up. It's a drag for everybody. Now, we can have our opinions and we can share our opinions, but on social media, we're generally preaching to the choir or preaching to the deaf. People that agree with us or people that will never agree with us. And it's just a way to really rile everybody's emotions up. And unfortunately, most people who get all wound up about the presidential election can't name their local state reps, can't name their senators, can't name even their governor. And they're not participating in town, local, state politics at all, which is where a lot of this stuff happens and originates. So, upcoming year, let's walk into it being mindful of our emotional reactions. Let's concentrate on emotional intelligence and remember that there's a lot of people and a lot of systems, organizations out there that are going to try to manipulate us through fear. That's what people in power like to do. Again, red, left, center, doesn't matter. You gotta be scared of something, so you vote for me. You gotta be scared of something, so you join our religion. It's just... it's a process that's as old as time. So I want to encourage everybody moving into this upcoming 2024, well, be mindful of your emotional reactions. With that being said, I want to give everybody the Tarot Snapshot. And let's see what the Tarot Snapshot has to say about this week and in general. The Tarot Snapshot, I'm going to be using the Rider-Waite-Smith deck this week, which is the more commonly known deck for tarot. It's about 100 years old. And I'm just going to shuffle 3 times. The first card that I draw is a card that represents all of us, myself included, because I get a lot of wisdom and messages from tarot. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the deck, and right there, this card represents us. Wow. So the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune card is about things that go up, must come down. It's the turning of the tides. This is a big card. This is number 10 of the major arcana. This is a card that really does talk about fate. It is talking about cycles. And I was just talking about that, presidential cycles, election cycles. Oftentimes, when talking about the presidential election, whether we have a Republican president or a Democrat president, and I'll tell you, the two-party system sets us all up to fail and divides us in a great way. What you're going to notice is that, the pendulum swings back and forth, back and forth, and it seems to do that. We'll have a couple of years of a Republican president and a couple of years of a Democratic president, and it's almost like the system sets us up to fail. But let's be mindful of fate. Let's be mindful of things outside of our control that we can't do much about. Being upset about the presidential election, outside of your ability to vote and perhaps protest or share your opinions about it, is almost as effective as being upset about the snowstorm that comes through. Gotta be mindful. Now, I'm not asking anybody to not participate in politics. In fact, I'm encouraging the opposite, but I will say that these systems and fate operates in a way that we don't understand, and truly in a way that we can't control. The next card is the card that vexes and perplexes us. The Moon. Okay, another major arcana card. This is the werewolf card to me. This is a card that indicates that we are under the influence. This is a lot of emotions, right? We have the moon, and the moon talks about, the pull of water in our body and how it can make us a lunatic. This card indicates that we're under the emotions or under the influence of something, just like a werewolf becomes under the influence of something. So I want to encourage everybody out there, whether you're participating in local politics and state politics, federal politics, or not, be mindful of what you're ingesting. We're not in the days of Walter Cronkite. Walter Cronkite, even when I was growing up, I had Peter Jennings. We were delivered the news and then left to feel whatever we were going to feel about it. Today, it doesn't matter what news you're watching. Modern American media is really telling you how to feel while giving you the news, and it's awful. You know how many people spend a lot of their life getting all clenched up, getting stressed out over stuff that they'll never be able to control, and they're just responding to the media diet that they're being fed. This is the card of being mindful of how we're under the influence. And what are we under the influence of? So there's that. There's the Moon card. Now, let's see the card that heals and reveals. This is the third card of the Tarot Snapshot. Okay, I love this. The Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is the Great Juggler. And, you see the waves, that ship right here, the waves, the rocky waves. This person is, being nimble, and this person is balancing. This person is juggling the worldly concerns that they have, whether it's global, whether it's national, whether it's local. But there's also this lemniscate here, this symbol of infinity. There's a wisdom here, and it almost reflects that Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune talks about things going up and down and up and down. So we have this here. Let us all remain in balance, even when the tides and the ocean sends us for a loop. We're all about to walk through some really emotional stuff. And who knows, I'm not talking about, you should be a Democrat, you should be a Republican. I hold Republican views, I hold Democratic views. I would be labeled as an independent. I do not like being forced onto either side of a dichotomy. But when we have to be careful because we're being manipulated. And that is what this is talking about. Manipulated intentionally and manipulated unintentionally. So if you have somebody that's in your social media feed and they're a zealot, whether a religious or political one, now block them, get rid of them, hide them. Don't even ingest it. Even though you might think that you can handle it, I wouldn't encourage you to, with regular frequency, ingest the stuff that's causing emotional, mental, spiritual, or even physical turmoil, because stress is the great killer. Let us be mindful of how we're responding and how much balance we need. So there's that. Wheel of Fortune, the Moon, and the Two of Pentacles. I want to thank you for joining me on this journey. Thank you for watching these videos, and thank you for just being a part of this path I'm on. So I really appreciate you. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you this upcoming week.